This is the fun part. This is the fun part. Any dreams in sequence? You? One? All right, one. I'll take it. Do you mind sharing it? Willing? Work? Okay, good, 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 good. What's nice about working with dreams is that you can use the dreams as the basis for the talk. I don't have to come in with anything. But I brought a couple of notes with me, put them on this board so I look professional. I would like to just raise an idea for you, what I mean by meaningful, and how I approach the idea of meaning. If anything has a relationship of parts to whole, then there's an order. If there's a repeating order, then there's a pattern. If there's a pattern, then it's either static or it evolves and is dynamic. If it's a dynamic pattern, then there's some theme that must operate through it to organize it. If they are themes, plural, if there are themes, then they're united in some way. And if they're unified, themes come together, then it's intelligible. And once you reach intelligibility, you know you're in the realm of the meaningful. Now, go a step further. If there's something you judge meaningful, implicit in the idea of meaning is that it has a benefit. And if it has a benefit, then that's what the Greeks mean by possessing an art. Now that's using the word art in the classic sense, not in the sense of artistry. That means, therefore, only a certain class of studies can be regarded as an art, because only those can be called arts that benefit the individual in some significant way, like medicine. Right, the whole object of medicine is that the subject enters into a relationship with the physician, knowing full well that they may suffer more than they may have had they not gone, but they're going to put up with the bother, the pain, for one reason. They think in the end they will benefit. Therefore, they're willing to take on the physician's advice, change their way of life. He becomes their ruler, and they only do it for one purpose. They think they will benefit. Therefore, the presumption of a knowledge that may benefit means there is an art. The same argument, of course, can apply to captains of ships, dentistry, and maybe, in the long run, philosophy. So, that's what I mean by meaningful, and that's how we'll approach it. So when we go into the dreams, what are we going to do? Look part to whole. We're going to then say it has an order, are we not? If it has an order, then we're going to look for the repeating order. We're going to go right through this scheme, aren't we? So just to bring you up to date, the way we're going to study dreams is, the assumption is that if the parts relate to the whole, then there's an order. The order repeats itself, there's a pattern. If there's a pattern, then it's either static or dynamic and evolves. If it's a dynamic pattern, then there's some theme. If there are plurality of themes, then they're unified. If they're unified, then that's when we call something intelligible. If it's intelligible, we know it's going to be meaningful. If meaningful, then it must benefit us, and therefore presupposes an art. Okay. So, let's play. All right? You brought how many dreams?
One, with, well, actually, a series, 4 dreams.
Good. That's good. Hold it. Now, look. See? That's all we need. God, that's a gift. All right? Look here. This is what we're saying. There's a cycle. Each one of these is a part-to-whole relationship. We're then going to look for the repeating pattern, are we not? Then we're going to look for themes, we're going to look for themes, etc., and go through the whole thing. So, give us the first one, please.
Okay. The first one is just a fragment.
Pardon?
A fragment.
That's okay.
I was gathering potatoes.
Oh, good, good. How?
Harvesting potatoes.
In the ground?
Yeah.
Harvesting. Okay, okay, okay. I happen to be very good at growing potatoes in the ground. Go ahead.
And then the next one.
No, no.
Oh.
State of mind, please. How? Because you could do it in a variety of ways, could you not?
Very focused.
Focused.
And discriminating, wanting to get the best ones.
In what way discriminating?
Sorting, meeting.
Sorting? Sorting what?
The potatoes. You know, I look at one and decide, no, that's not a good one, that one's better.
Okay. Sorting, selecting, judging.
Yeah.
Judging the better. Go ahead. Good, good, good. How do the potatoes look?
How do they look?
Yeah, how do they look? The better one. Just describe.
Not wrinkled.
Not wrinkled. Go ahead.
Firm.
Firm.
Smooth. Yeah, smooth. Not wrinkled, smooth.
Smooth.
Not blotchy. Nice hearty potatoes. In full size, not puny. Just the right size.
Full size. Now, one of the rules when you make an analysis of dreams is that the person giving you the dream can't have a private joke. Now tell us what you're laughing about. That's really, it's in print, small print.
I'm laughing at my description because all I had was harvesting potatoes and then coming up with all of this.
Yeah, okay. I thought maybe there was something funny you saw in that. If so, I need that.
No, there was nothing funny in it. I was just very focused on
But you see, you said it wasn't puny. And you
the
chuckled.
word puny.
That's a curious word. You don't use it often, but it fit. We'll
Yeah.
go back to that later. Okay, second dream. Thank you very much.
There's another scene.
Pardon?
This is the next dream. Melvin is there. My aunt, excuse me. My aunts come in. Melva, Sonia, and Sharon.
That's a whole colony. Are they all ants?
Yeah.
All hands.
The ant brigade.
The aunt brigade. They were walking in.
Hold it. I happen to be very good at people walking. Good, there they go.
They were walking into the room. I think
Mhm.
it was the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised. I hadn't seen them in a long time. The tall, beautiful sisters.
How did you describe them?
Tall, beautiful sisters.
Go ahead.
I was going to kiss them on the cheek, but somehow my Aunt Melva had rouge on her cheeks. Rouge or something on her cheeks. I kissed my Aunt Sonia on the lips. She said something about my mother. I hope your mother is not upset.
I hope your mother is not sick.
Upset.
Upset, thank you.
As though something was wrong with me kissing on the lips. And my mother has this thing about, ever since I was a kid, don't let adults kiss you on the lips, or something like that. Relatives always kiss them on the cheeks. Don't kiss them on the lips. So I think that's what was implied there by I hope your mother's not upset.
Okay. See, that's going to
I was going to go back to the beginning.
That's right. What are we going to get?
States
States of mind. That's right. Right. Anytime you do any work reflecting like this, you need three things. All right. You must always look for the logos, the words, the meaning, as much as you can get it. The image and the action, right? And especially in that, the state of mind. Okay, okay. Please go on.
So they walked into the room, and they're beautiful, tall women, and they remind me of like sirens.
Like
Sirens.
sirens.
Yeah.
In the Greek.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, go ahead.
And I was surprised to see them. Just their presence, their tall presence, and that I hadn't seen them in a long time surprised me. And I was just taken by how beautiful they were, and that they were sisters. It just seemed to add to it.
I'm not familiar with that word, surprised. Talk about it. You can be surprised in a variety of ways. So
Yeah,
just talk about it.
In awe of their beauty.
Good, good. More?
And these are my aunts. They were related to me. I'm trying to go back to exactly.
Good, good, good. Thank you. Anything more? Good, okay. Thank you.
That I was going to kiss my Aunt Melba on the cheek.
Is this another dream?
No, this is the same.
Okay.
This is after they came in to the room. And she had this rouge on her cheeks, and it kind of got in the way. I was approaching her to greet her and give her a kiss on the cheek, and I was kind of repulsed by this rouge on her cheeks. It was kind of superfluous. Like, she was so beautiful to have that on, and it took away from her natural beauty.
It's an interesting state, that repulsed because of that. Yeah. Could you say a little bit more about that state of mind, please? Repulsed.
It just didn't fit.
Didn't fit.
And I didn't want to get it on me.
Good. That's helpful, thank you. Good. Any other reflection? Third then?
So then I kissed my Aunt Sonia on the lips. And it seemed quite natural. It was just a warm, kind of just affectionate, it's my aunt, and we just kissed her on the lips.
That's good, thank you. Third, keep going.
And she said something about my mother. I hope my mother is not upset. And like I said, I thought that was because of the kissing on the lips, that there was something wrong with it. But it didn't seem to me like there was anything wrong with it. But she said that.
All right.
Okay. It was the same dream, another scene. This is
another scene in the same dream?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Tamiko was there. She's the daughter of one of my aunts, my cousin. My Aunt Melba sat down and she was showing us her teeth were loose. Her two front teeth. said, you know what you ought to try? Lemon juice. It tightens the gums. You hold it in your mouth for a while, and then it will taste sweet. The sour will turn to sweet. And Tomiko said, yeah, lemon juice. And I said, see if it makes a difference. Notice how your teeth are now, and see the difference after you use it. And Tomiko got out a funny kind of plastic juicer. It had a kind of syringe kind of structure. You were supposed to push it somehow. And I asked her if this was the way to do it, and she said, yeah. But I didn't see how that was going to juice a lemon. My Aunt Melva had dozed off, and Tomiko was, I guess this would split this scene. I would make a split right here. When I say my Aunt Melva dozed off. And Tomiko was talking to her, called her, and she said, leave me alone. And she snapped at her, leave me alone, out of her sleep. I thought that was unusual for her to snap like that. Usually she wakes up and starts talking. And that's the end of that.
What did Nico say?
I don't know what she was saying to her, but she was talking to her as she was dozing off.
Okay.
Dozed off.
Okay. Thank you.
So, back to the beginning, Melva sat down, she was showing us her teeth were loose. And again, it's a kind of shock because here's my beautiful aunt again, and she's got loose teeth. And she really takes care of herself, and it's unusual for her to have her teeth loose. I mean, I think that's kind of unfortunate too. And so I suggest something that I think will help her conditions, lemon juice. And I started explaining this to her because I know it sounds odd to use, you don't want to, lemon juice is so sour. I thought she would just reject my suggestion, so I felt like I had to explain it to her and convince her to try it.
How'd she take it? State of mind?
My state of mind.
Hers.
Hers.
Remember what she said? In your...
She see, yeah, I'm going back. I don't have that in the transcription. But she seemed willing to, she was a little reluctant, but not totally against it.
Yes. Go ahead. Pardon me?
Okay, so
Okay.
I'm explaining her the sour will turn to sweet. Just don't worry, the sour will turn to sweet. Try it. See if it makes a difference. And then my cousin got out this plastic juicer. And I didn't see how the juicer was going to work.
Yeah, I had a problem with it too. Yeah, it's all right. Thank you. Good.
And I asked her if this was the way to do it, and she said, yeah, but I didn't see how. Okay. But I think I went ahead and, I'm not sure if I tried it, but I just had a strong doubt that this thing is not going to work. It's not going to juice the lemon. You need a kind of rough edge to twist it against to really get all the juice out of the pulp, and it didn't have that. So, there was just a strong doubt there. Then there's the part my Aunt Melva dozed off. Tomiko was talking to her, called called her, and she said, my Aunt Melva said, leave me alone. And it's, my Aunt Melva has this history of dropping off to sleep. But whenever you talk to her, she just comes right out of it and starts talking.
That's good, good.
I mean, and this is in contrast to, like, my mother. My mother falls asleep, and you talk to her, she snaps at you. So,
Nice switch.
yeah.
Nice switch. We might use that later. Okay, good. Third?
Okay. Third, I was visiting Lisa Benham's house.
Whose?
Lisa Benham.
Okay.
L-B.
It's all right, Lisa's.
Yeah, Lisa.
Go ahead.
She gave me a long hug. Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta start first with what came first. Let me start with what came
Sure.
first. Okay. When I first saw Lisa, she was chasing Twyla, who was her daughter. Twyla had done something, and she was going after her. Twyla was wailing. She was running. And I thought, I hope she doesn't beat that baby. And she brought her back and told her, do you want to have lunch? And Twyla said, yeah. And she said, well then, you better behave, or something like that. And then I come up to her house, and she gives me a long hug in greeting. But it was unusually long, but warm and just nice, like she hadn't seen me in a long time.
Pardon?
Like she hadn't seen me in a long time. Embracing me.
Go ahead.
The step up to her house was really high. The first step. I found a crate to step up. I said, oh, that first step is really high. I didn't think I could make it. State of mind when she was chasing Twyla was very high anxiety. Like I wanted to do something to help, but I couldn't. To intervene somehow, so that she wouldn't harm the child. She seemed very angry. So I was just kind of motionless, standing there hoping, oh my gosh, I hope she doesn't do something to her.
Good.
Okay. Then the step up to the house,
Steep. How to use a crate.
very high, yeah. And what I see here is just, which is curious, is I say I didn't think I could make it after I got the crate. But when I took the step, when I was trying to take the step in this dream, it was as though the step got higher as I was lifting my leg to get on top of it. It would get higher. And at first I thought I could just take the step, and then I saw it was going to be more difficult than I thought. And then I got the crate.
Yeah, good, thank you. Fourth now, I presume?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I went into the other room.
This is the fourth dream?
This is the fourth.
Thank
this
you.
is seventh.
Went into the other dream. Go ahead.
Okay. I took out my tape recorder. It was a small thing. I could play it on the TV, and it gave me a video image of a talk that was being reviewed. I think it was my talk that was being reviewed. There was a woman that was sitting with Peter and Nancy. I think it was Catalina. And she was laughing because she said about the talk, when she sees it, what is she going to do with the consequences of what she sees? And then the tape was kind of garbled. I think it said, I said incorporate them or something. Providence is blocked. How is she going to see, or something like that, with that problem?
Could you do that again, please? What is she going to do with the consequences? Just go back over
Of
that.
what she sees.
Yeah.
Incorporate them. How is she going to incorporate them? Providence is blocked.
Hold it.
And it's funny.
How is she going to incorporate it?
Yeah.
And what follows?
Providence is blocked.
I didn't hear it.
Providence is blocked.
Providence
She said that.
is blocked. Great statement.
How is she going to see, or something like that, with that problem?
Same thing. States of mind? I finished that? Okay. States of mind?
Let me just go through it. I don't know if there's...
No.
There's more.
Oh, good, good.
Nancy raised her eyebrow and said, "Ah, that's smart or sharp." I remember noticing...
That's smart?
Yeah, or sharp of her to see that. That's what struck me. That's what struck me about this woman, Catalina. She would see things about people and say it. And she was kind of pretty right on with what she saw.
Is that in the dream?
No, I'm telling you about the woman, Catalina.
No. Is it in the dream?
No, it's not in the dream.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. We may use it later, but
Okay.
not at first.
Okay,
Okay.
so let me just finish reading this. Nancy raised her eyebrow and said, "Okay, that's sharp." I remember noticing how clear the image was on the screen. It played on such a little unit, how crystal clear everything was. That's it.
Okay, same thing. What are we going to ask? Put in some states of mind.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's the surprise again about this tape recorder that can play on the TV and get a video image.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was as though, okay, at this part there was the woman sitting here, Nancy Catalina.
Mm-hmm.
It was as though it was like a theater now, almost like this room.
Mm-hmm.
And they were sitting next to one another and watching the screen. And this woman, Catalina, just sees clearly in the talk, in the review of the talk, ah, that's her problem. But in the dream, I don't recall what it was.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else there?
Oh, just what I was saying about this woman, Catalina, that this was what I saw about her,
Mm-hmm.
why I think she plays this role.
Okay.
And this part about what she's going to do with the consequences of what she sees and incorporate them. It was as though she saw something that I couldn't see,
Mm-hmm.
or something that was obvious to everyone else except me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember feeling like it was really imperative for me to try to see what it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good? Good. All right, back to one now. All right, as you look at it, we're looking for themes. We're looking for themes. All right. Notice the language. Always watch the language, the logos. What would you say she's doing in the dream? What is she doing?
Focusing and discriminating, sorting, selecting, judging.
Right. What do you call that? What do you want to call that? A very nice cognitive state of judging, right? Selecting, judging, discriminating is a nice word for it, right? That higher sense of discriminating. Yeah. And now you're going through the process. Do you have a standard?
Yes.
Yes, right? What are they? Firm, not wrinkled, smooth, no blotches, full size, not puny. Go ahead, what? Come on, you're good.
Puny.
I like, that's where we're going. Yeah.
No, shriveled up and scrawny. Kind of.
Right? So you have, see, you have what you don't want and you have what you want, right?
Sickly, puny, underdeveloped.
Underdeveloped, right. This is a good word for it. Underdeveloped. All right.
They're not.
Yeah,
You have to do it louder.
They're not underdeveloped.
They're not underdeveloped.
I want the underdeveloped puny.
Yeah. If you don't want the undeveloped, these are the undeveloped. Is that the way you're using it?
And
Yeah.
the unwrinkled,
Yeah,
those are the developed.
I'm with you.
And smooth.
Yeah, the negatives. Yeah, but you have a clear idea. You don't want the underdeveloped ones.
Yes.
And they would be the ones that would be wrinkled, right? Blotches, puny.
Right.
Yeah. Right? So you have a negative and you have positive. Right. You don't want the undeveloped one, you want the developed one. And you're having, what state of mind are you in when you're doing it?
Very focused.
Very focused. Right.
Determined.
Determined. Yeah, good. Yeah. Talk about just anything you want. Puny potatoes.
Puny potatoes.
Yeah.
The thing that made me laugh was just, I don't know what it was, what it is about the word puny. The sound of it just sounds funny, but puny potatoes. It's like being gypped. Puny.
Like being gypped. Go ahead. Like being gypped. I like that. Go ahead.
Who wants puny potatoes?
Okay.
Meaty potatoes.
Right. Okay. All right. So you're making sure you're not going to be gypped. That's what's behind the word puny for you. Good. So you have to be careful and you're focused and discriminating because you want to avoid this. You don't want to be gypped. As a matter of fact, you want to go the other way and get what's best. Good. Second dream.
With my 3 aunts.
Yes. Now, it's an interesting state. Here you're focused. What state is she in here, please? What?
I'm awe.
Awe. So we have focused and awe, but still discriminating. Ah, good. That's right. Still discriminating.
Knowing what's beautiful and what's not.
Ah.
My aunt.
So the potato has grown into something beautiful.
Not puny.
Not puny there.
They're tall, beautiful sisters.
And they're sweet potatoes.
Yeah. Thank you. That was helpful. Okay, as you look at the second dream, what's the conflict? What's the conflict in the dream? There's a conflict. What's the conflict?
Oh, the mother.
Rude.
Pardon me?
Mother.
Mother, right? The echo of the mother, right?
Right, 'cause- yeah, because it feels natural on one hand, kissing my aunt,
Mhm.
but then there's the concern about whether my mother's going to be upset.
So then, she knows that your mother might get upset over this.
Yeah.
Well, who's doing it?
My aunt Sylvia. Who's doing it?
Or who's the active agent? Are you making the forward motion, or should?
We're both kind of meeting, we're just meeting.
Okay, fine, I can take it. Okay, then it's mutual in that
It's
respect.
yeah, it's
So you're responding and she's responding in a similar way, and therefore you end up kissing on the lips. Right?
It's funny because my Aunt Sonia, my mother, my Aunt Sonia is very playful and not as strict as my mom is. My mother has all these kind of social etiquette rules, and my Aunt Sonia is just very playful and natural.
Yes, you pick up that image of natural when you say the state of mind you're in. It didn't seem wrong, it was natural, affectionate.
But then,
And by the way, is there a puny potato in the second dream too?
With the rouge? The aunt with the rouge?
That's right. That's right.
That was unnatural.
That was unnatural, right? So we're getting both again, aren't we? Ah, I see.
And
God.
also unusual.
And unusual.
For this particular.
More?
Unnecessary.
yeah, because she's just so naturally beautiful. But the thing with my Aunt Melba is she doesn't see her beauty. She,
In the dream?
in life.
No, hold up for a
All
while.
right. In the dream, it was unnecessary because she was just so radiantly tall and beautiful. To have this big blotch of red stuff on her brown skin.
Good. Good. What was the negative in respect to yourself about kissing Melba?
Getting waxy stuff on me.
Didn't want to get it on you, right? Didn't want to get that waxy stuff on you, right?
Yeah.
Didn't want to be
Smeared or
smeared by, all right, Matter of fact, in that sense, you were repulsed.
yeah.
And what she was doing was superfluous, it wasn't necessary. Is that correct? All right, so she's going, how would you say it? In what direction is she going? By the use of that.
She's going away from her natural beauty.
Yeah, yeah,
Burying it.
yeah. And you are repulsed by that direction. What you find interesting about the dream also is that in the dream, you take pleasure in the fact that they are related to you. Talk about that.
That there are three sisters, and sisters, I didn't grow up with a sister, but with a sister my age. But they would talk amongst one another and share things, and that I could be included in that somehow, because they were coming to visit me.
Yes, they were coming to visit you. Ah, good. And they're related to you, and they're coming to see you. And therefore that means, for you in your dream, what?
There's kind of a
No, good, good. Acceptance, admiration, all those nice words, good, good, good. Now, reflect. Is there some theme being picked up in the first or the second dream?
Discriminations.
Discrimination. The two.
The standard of beauty.
The two. We're moving from to people. Nice jump. Still making judgments.
Being part of a select group. Right?
Being part of a select group. Thank you. Helpful.
Beautiful, beautiful group.
It's moved to beauty. There's a certain beauty here, but it's subdued. This is natural beauty too.
Natural, this is in addition to, this is, she's making distinctions between developmental issues here, and this is added.
Mm-hmm.
She's making a distinction that what's being added to destroy the group, to cover the beauty.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Keep those themes alive as we go into the third. All right.
This is the second part of the second.
Oh, pardon me. We're down here with Melba. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
With the loose teeth. Now
Mhm.
it's not loose teeth. Again, that's unusual.
Mm-hmm.
She has, well, maybe not unusual in the dream since she's wearing rouge in the first part, hiding her beauty, and this is like a flaw,
Mhm.
a revealed flaw. So she smiles or
Mhm.
looks around and her teeth
Mhm.
moves.
And then you're offering a suggestion of how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even though it's odd.
Right, I want her to just try it, don't put it down
Mhm.
yet, just yet.
Mhm.
Like I think she's gonna turn away at the sourness of
Mhm.
with the big lemon juice in her mouth.
So, what is she doing here in 2B that's different than the preceding?
She's giving a solution.
She's offering a solution to the problem, right? Suggesting it. Right? So she's not merely making a judgment and excluding, but now she's offering support, and in a very nice way, isn't she? Which is see if it makes a difference, letting the other party see. That's true.
It's not a half-baked idea, just try it, see if it makes a difference.
Yeah.
I think it'll help.
No. Right. Now, the focus is on the means, isn't it? The lemon juice. Hold on to that. And then what happens to the problem of the lemon juice?
Turn sweet.
That's right. Right. Wait till it turns sweet. Then make the comparison before and after. That's true. All right, now go ahead to the syringe.
Tamiko gives me this funny kind of plastic juicer.
It's a plastic juicer. It's very funny.
Flimsy.
Flimsy.
Yeah, I don't see how.
It
it's
can
gonna-
possibly work.
Yeah.
Right? Flawed again.
Yeah, it's not suited to.
Flawed again. Look, one, this, and now this. What's the contrast?
What are you doing between the solution, offering the solution and the squeeze, and the squeezer? It's not gonna be effective.
That's right. You don't think this is the way to do it. You have a strong doubt as to whether or not it'll work. You make a judgment about it.
Right?
Still making judgments. See the kind of judgments you're making, right?
Right.
But you don't reject it.
No. I'm willing to give it a try.
Willing to give it a try. That's the same theme formally that was applied to Melba, which is, hey, try it out and see if it works. Right? So you're applying it also to yourself. Good. Then Nico comes in.
And,
She's dozing, as you can see in this beautiful picture.
right, the aunt is dozing, and Tamiko is talking to her,
Mm-hmm.
and she snaps, "Leave me alone."
Mm-hmm.
And that was unusual for her to do that. And like I said, in contrast to my mom, that's something you don't, when mother's sleeping, don't talk to her. She just snap, she'll take your head off.
So in this sense, she's functioning somewhat like your mother in that respect than her
Right.
normal
Than
self.
her normal self.
Right. And what effect did that have on you? Did it, in the dream, did it
Yeah.
surprise you?
Yeah, took me
Okay.
by great surprise.
Oh, thank you.
A lot of surprise.
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot of surprise throughout this entire dream?
And unusual, odd.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, 'cause that just did.
Right, right through it, doesn't it? Right, good, good, good.
It's like having a kind of surprise, like a jack in the box coming out at you,
Mm-hmm,
not expecting that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Great surprise that this would take place. Right.
It's scary a little too.
Ah,
Really scary. Frightening.
fear, fright?
Yeah.
Okay, good, good, good.
Let's see.
All right, we'll go to the third now.
This is Lisa's
Mhm.
house. She's
Ah.
chasing.
What are we going to look here? Are we setting ourselves up to look for certain kinds of contrasts? Right? Of the same
There's some themes
themes? Right,
of contrast.
right, hold it.
There's some motifs going on, like awe, surprise.
Mm-hmm,
Uh, How did that surprise relate to the dream number 2?
No, we don't want to do that yet.
You don't want to do that yet?
No, no, no comparisons yet. We're just going through it. Okay. But hold it. All right. Free? All right.
Okay, Lisa's house. She's
Two parts?
Two parts.
Two parts in the third?
Right.
Clearly,
Chasing
two
the
parts?
door and then
We're going to
stepping-
contrast the two parts, aren't we? Because we're looking to parts to whole, are we not? All right. What's the issue?
She's chasing her daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and she's very angry.
Yeah.
And her daughter is running and
Mm-hmm.
wailing like, you know, her life is at
Look at
risk.
that. Tears flowing.
Yeah. I mean, just total terror. She's in terror.
Good. The terror seems to be building, huh? Experience of terror? Okay. Then what happens?
Um,
How does the mother relate to it?
she catches up with her and asks her if she wants to have lunch.
Hey, want to have lunch, good?
But no, it wasn't a
No.
casual. It was, do you want to eat? Well, then you better behave.
Ah, good, thank you.
A
Thank you.
threat.
Thank you. A threat. Okay. And?
Um,
Any idea of whether it worked in the dream?
the situation calmed down.
Okay.
There was no violence or anything. It just
Right.
chasing was over. She wasn't in a state of terror. She was coming into the house.
Right. So in that sense, did it work?
Did what work?
Her strategy with her child?
Chasing her? The threat.
Well, the child is in a certain terrified state.
Well, yeah, it worked because she wasn't. The way she was after it was as though when she got her, she was going to do something to her.
Yeah.
Instead, she just asked her, "Hey, come on, you better just behave yourself."
Right.
And that calmed.
It worked?
It worked.
It worked. Ah. 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 Mhm.
And
Quickly scan the first two dreams. Right. What was happening from the first to the second? Were suggestions offered? Were things expected? Right. What are we getting here? A remedy applied? Did it work?
Yes.
Ah, thank you. Keep going to the next part now.
It worked to de-escalate.
That de-escalated? Go ahead.
Oh, and then I have the part, I was standing there as she was chasing her, and I was concerned that some harm was going to come to her, but I was motionless. I couldn't,
No. Couldn't do anything.
I couldn't do anything.
Yeah. You wanted to do something, you wanted to help,
Yeah.
but motionless. Were you, yeah. Well, in terms of the dream, were you needed? No. Okay. Continue then.
Then Lisa gave me a long hug,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just expecting, just to greet someone, just a short, how do you do? She gave me a long, God, how do I describe it? It's kind of a
Emotional? You
glad to see me.
glad, like she hadn't seen you for a long
Like she hadn't
time?
seen me.
Right. Warm? What effect did it have on you, please?
It was calming.
Calming. What else?
And it
Calming
was
you?
greatly contrasted with the state that she was in just before that.
Yeah. Good. It was calming for her as well as
As
you?
well as for me.
Because you were in a certain state,
Mhm.
and now she's doing something, the second thing she's doing. Does it work?
Yes.
Ah. Okay. Do you have a difficulty that you resolve?
Yeah, my concern about what was her state
Mm-hmm.
before that.
And how about running up the steps?
That's next. Taking the step. Like I said, as I lifted my leg to take it, the step got higher
Right.
until I saw I couldn't get up.
Right.
Now,
So you needed a crate?
yeah,
Right.
assistance, yeah. So I found a crate and used that.
Pardon?
So I found a crate and used that.
That's called what? A nice strategy to meet the problem. You solved it, right? So here you made an analysis, you handled it well, you then applied it and it worked. Ah. Is there any growing, is there something developing through here in terms of identifying, discriminating, identifying, then trying to deal with it, something, pardon me, trying to deal with it, offering suggestions, not only offering suggestions next, but then applying them? Is it moving? Ah, good. Fourth, please. Oh, wait a minute. I just want one thing. We needed it. It was interesting that you called that state of mind calming to both of you, but you said like she hadn't seen it. Do you remember that expression?
When she hugged me like she
Yeah.
hadn't seen me.
Like she hadn't seen you for a long time, right?
Yeah.
What was that like to you, though? I know it calmed you. Well,
It was unexpected.
unexpected.
That kind of a long, like she hadn't.
What's another word for unexpected?
Surprising.
Oh, does that theme of surprise run through this?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Did I have to fish for that one? A little bit, right? Okay, 4. Now notice the idea of surprise is not going to be present in the fourth dream, is it?
I went into the other room and sat down. I took out my tape recorder. It was a small thing. I could play it off the TV. Huh?
Surprise.
How do you play the tape recorder and get a video image?
Surprised?
Surprise.
Right?
There's this clear image.
Mhm.
Talk, my talk being reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
People sitting there watching.
Mhm.
Nancy and Catalina.
Mm-hmm.
And they're seeing clearly.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because it's like sitting here now and everyone looking at it, they're beginning to see where it's going, what's happening, where the problems are. So it's
Are you seeing it too?
yeah.
Okay, okay. It's another. Okay, all right, go ahead.
And she was laughing.
Mm-hmm. Nothing malicious then. She's laughing.
It wasn't a malicious laugh. It
Good,
was
good,
like
good.
just her seeing.
Uh-huh.
Like figuring out a puzzle, seeing something in a puzzle.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
What's she going to do with the consequences of what she sees?
And who is she talking about? You. Right, right, right.
when she sees that, what
Mm-hmm.
is she going to do with it? How is she going to incorporate it?
Yeah.
Because I was blocked somehow. I would be blocked from incorporating it somehow because of my problem, even though I saw it. It was going to be difficult.
Because of your problem. Not, thank you.
I'm sorry.
This word isn't there then.
What did you say? See, yeah, that is there.
Oh, I want to make sure because that's such a huge word. Yeah, go ahead.
Providence is blocked.
Providence is blocked.
She said that.
Yeah, I didn't. I just repeated it. It's there in the dream, is it not?
Yes, I'll read it again, just fully clear.
Mhm.
She was laughing because she said, when she sees it,
When she
what is
sees
she
it,
going
what
to
she
do
going
with
to
the
do?
consequences of what she sees?
Yeah, what's you going to do with the consequence of what you're saying?
Incorporate it.
Incorporate it?
Question, how?
Question, how?
Providence is blocked.
Providence is blocked.
How is she going to see?
Yeah,
Or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Now, why don't you just talk to us about what that expression means, as far as you're concerned? All right, to stay with it, providence is blocked.
That I wasn't going to get some benefit.
I
I was
wasn't,
going to be blocked from something that was going to benefit the seeing that was happening in the talk. I was going to be blocked from that. And that seeing was providential. That I was going to be blocked from because of my problem.
yeah.
Did I?
The seeing would have been providential had you been able to see it.
Yeah.
I see. Is that what you're saying?
Had I not known it was going to be providential had I been able to not see it because I saw it, but incorporate it.
Hmm.
You to
Well,
use it,
well,
to assimilate it somehow.
then it's not the seeing that's at issue.
It's the what I'm going to do with the consequence of what I see.
Ah.
The way she,
Yeah, do it louder or otherwise I can't hear it.
how is she going to incorporate it?
Yeah.
And its providence is blocked.
Yeah.
It is blocked. It's
If I
not
don't
going to be.
incorporate it.
Pardon?
If I don't incorporate it, it's blocked.
Yeah.
The other seat's fine.
Yeah. Now put the word providence in place.
Providence is blocked. Or
Are you, well, to talk about the word providence, are you using it in
in a very
pronoia?
that
Greek,
there's
from the
something
Greek rather than
from-
Latin. Provideo, right, to see ahead,
Yes. That
right,
there's,
what is prior to the intellect, to be able to see beyond the intellect.
that's,
Pardon?
Are you supplying her with what it means?
I don't know, I asked.
You're like giving
yes,
her.
Why, of course, but I want to, I have to confirm it.
right.
She said, yes, it
You're
was
asking
from the
me, I
Greek,
see.
so I thought I'd do a number on that. Do you go along with it? Because you're quite right, I don't want to introduce it.
I go along with it, but what I would say about providence in the stream, how I saw it, was like there's something higher in me functioning.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
In that
something,
sense, it's like pronoia.
okay, something higher functioning in you. Go ahead. All right. A seeing,
That sees, and it was going to be blocked. It's always acting appropriately to my benefit, and it was being blocked.
right. And the reason it's being blocked in terms of your dream is that?
Problem.
And
In the dream, it's blocked because of,
you use the word problem in this discussion?
Uh-huh.
Is it in the dream? By that I mean, is it written in your notes?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then the reason you can't incorporate it is because of this word, problem. Is that right?
Yep, that's problem.
Good, just to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
And if it weren't for that problem, then you'd be able to incorporate it.
Right.
And then this higher way of seeing, which you call providence, or providence. It's not a Christian concept of providence,
No.
but it's the sense of a higher way of seeing. Okay. Good?
Can I ask a question?
Is that like the group from there?
She gave me a copy of it, that line, and it, looking at it, she says, how is she going to see, or something like that, with that problem? It looks like that problem refers to incorporating what she sees.
Oh, find out. Yeah. Would you please respond?
Because she says,
Just read it loud.
she was laughing because she said, when she sees it, what is she going to do with the consequences of what she sees? Incorporate them? Providence is blocked. How is she going to see, or something like that, with that problem?
But something like that is my addition, so if you take that out and just read it straight, it's how she's going to see with that problem.
Okay. That's
Is
good.
that,
Okay.
is that clear?
Now, we don't have the effect it has on you in the dream, and we need that. Any?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it was like, there was something there. Everyone could see it.
Obvious to
It was
all.
obvious. And it was imperative that I see
That's right. Imperative to see.
what she was saying
Right.
so that
Mhm.
I could do something about it.
Right. Right. So I could do something about it. Very good. Right.
And I was, trying to find the words to describe it. Let me say. The state I was in, like my life was at stake.
Ah, good. Good. Well, good. Right. Life is at stake. Right. Good. Very serious.
Yeah.
Well, imperative. Build that idea of imperative. Okay.
That I had to get beyond what it was.
Okay. Good, good. How to get beyond? Yeah, good. Okay, now we looked at each one. Now, see whether you can move from any one of the four dreams to another and make contrasts, comparisons, all right? Take the fourth and compare it with the first.
They're seeing.
Yeah.
I have one between 4 and 2.
Okay, hold it. Just do 4-1 first.
Other people are seeing.
Seeing.
Louder, please.
There are other people in the dream that are seeing clearly and making distinctions. There are other people like in 4 that are doing the same, but she's not.
Yes.
She's seeing it,
Switch from,
which is a difference from 1. Number 1, she's making distinctions, she's judging, selecting. 4, she's the one who can't see.
Yeah. That's
But
right.
others can see.
Yes. More?
Well, when she sees it, it's not indicating that she's not going to see it. But it's indicating there's another step to what happens when you do see something that is questioned. There's a discrimination at this point in terms of the kind of seeing that or what's going to happen when we're seeing that.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Go
I
ahead.
could make it more succinct, and that is here all that's happening is discrimination, but there it's discrimination with an injunction that it has to be incorporated. So there's growth in terms of action. I mean, there's another motif developing on top of discrimination.
Okay. More? Yes, please.
The only one where I saw any real logos was the number 1 where her logos was I want the best, and the number 4 where the logos was my life is at stake.
That's true. That's true. More. Come on, there's more. Remember when we talked about the potato, right? We asked her to talk about it, and we got all of these terms. We focused on one term, puny. right?
Undeveloped.
And what was the term? Undeveloped.
So when Providence is blocked, something is undeveloped.
That's right. Right. Picking up that theme, turning it around in another way. Good, good. You guys are doing very well. Good. Okay. States of mind. Focus, discriminating. Here, what is it?
There's crystal clear.
Crystal clear. More? Here? Her life is at stake.
Yeah.
Right? Imperative. Right? This is certainly, there's an intensity,
And
but
she doesn't want to get ripped off. Coming off of puny, doesn't want to get ripped off.
doesn't want to be gypped, ripped
Gypped,
off.
I mean, gypped, sorry,
Yeah.
gypped. And here,
Yeah.
so she doesn't want to lose her life. Her life's
That's
at
right.
stake.
Right? Highlighted dramatically. Good. All right. Second and the fourth, I think you were taking, were you not? Yeah, go ahead.
The theme of not seeing the obvious was picked up from too, because she said that her aunt never saw herself as being
That's right.
beautiful
That's
and
right.
would put on
That's
the
right.
rouge. And that it was obvious to her that she didn't need that rouge.
Okay. Then we're dealing with obvious, discriminating, aren't we? We're making discriminations, judging, obvious, not obvious, etc. Those kinds of distinctions. That's right. Right. More? 4 to 2? Go. 4 to 2?
It looks like there's a problem developing too, that underdeveloped is being manifested all the way to 3, where she's going up the steps and she's having difficulties. There's or 4? That's
Yeah,
3.
that's true. Can you go to
That's
4 to 2 for a while?
4 to 2.
Yeah. 4 to 2?
The beautiful sisters, but she's not.
Is she offering remedies in 2?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
And the remedies, how is she offering them?
she's not holding on to what I was going to.
Not holding them, right, right.
Try
You
them.
try them, see if it works, right, good, good. Does 2 and 3, therefore, can that be contrasted in terms of that?
Remedies.
Remedies, remedies given, you see how it works out, you make the judgment. Here,
She uses her own remedy there.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, do that again. I don't,
Well, if you want to take, there's someone who makes an analysis here of something undeveloped, we can call it, or at odds, and you suggest something, and you allow it up to the person to decide whether or not it's to benefit them or not. Right? So you don't know whether or not it will benefit.
right.
Right?
Okay, then,
You're not sure about whether that curious little dispenser will work or not. You have strong doubts about it. It's not tested. Right? In 3, though, is there a crisis and someone does make a judgment to try to resolve the situation? Are they successful
yes.
on 2 levels, both with the child and with you? Ah.
And with me using, getting a crate to.
And then you go out and see what's wrong and you get a crate. So both of you, in this case, are doing what?
Resolving problems.
Right. Not waiting to see, that's right, not waiting to see what may happen, but you apply it immediately and it works. Here, not so. All right.
She's seeing a lot of things. She's seeing unusual things and seeing very clearly through 1, 2, 3 about other things, about other people, about other situations and even events and circumstances and how to handle them and making judgments regarding those.
Yeah, except for the crate, maybe that begins what she's doing.
But she's starting to,
Right.
yeah, that
Right.
seems
Right.
to change where now she's got to do something about her own abilities or her own work.
That's right.
And now
That's
it
right.
moves into 4,
That's right.
where now her own
Mhm.
seeing about herself is at a point.
Yeah.
Good, good. More? Come on, guys, doing well. Come on.
And it looks like that's where the question is. She's able to incorporate also her seeing of other people and being able to give remedies
Mm-hmm.
and deal with the consequences of what she sees with respect to others. But now in 4, it's the question that becomes that may be a problem at that point, whether she
Okay.
can do it for herself.
Right. Now I have to apply my seeing to myself
That's right.
and overcome.
So if you had these 4 dreams then, and you looked at them in this way, is it likely you'd pick on one of the 4 to explore in greater depth?
Oh, wait.
He said,
The 4.
yeah.
I would pick the last one.
Yeah, the 4th.
Because
Because that, what does that
her
do?
confidence is blocked unless she
Yeah,
can incorporate
right,
it.
So that's
right.
where I need to put my focus.
And that pulls together all before she's handling different kinds of problems, but now it's herself. Yeah.
And all the
yeah.
way through it involves her seeing.
And all through it involves judging, seeing, remedies. Yes, yeah.
Others
yeah,
seeing, she's seeing,
yeah,
not
yeah.
seeing.
Mhm.
And she's surprised, maybe it'll work. Maybe.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Now, we could take each one of these scenes and put it in this way: the first, second, third, fourth. Right? We could talk about this as the first one. We could portray it as she comes into the room and she's surprised. The tape recorder could play visual images. That would be one. And then they're all talking together and they're looking at the screen too. And then the discussion with this one woman who's leading it. Then her statement, its effect on you. We could then put numbers on those and just put them like that, represent them in a circle, couldn't we? Which is the best way to do it. Now, it looks like then we can take a look at the 4th one. And it looks like many of you are saying that's a very interesting expression. Providence is blocked. And blocked by a problem. It's not in seeing. Notice it's not in seeing. Not in seeing. What's the problem?
Incorporating.
And doing something with what you see. And if you don't handle that, what's the dream telling you?
The providence is going to be blocked.
What would it mean to say providence, not providence is blocked? That's the consequence.
A higher order of seeing isn't going to come about for you
Yeah, yeah,
unless you push through and do something
Yeah.
with what you see.
all right? You go along with
With herself.
that? Yeah, 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 yeah,
Seems to be
Yeah.
for us.
yeah.
It's not
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
That was a pretty universal message there.
Now, what's interesting in this, let's go back to the images. She's also surprised or amazed at how clear the images were. They're crystal clear. Remember that?
Yeah.
Talk about that for a few minutes.
It was like it wasn't like watching on a screen. It was, it no longer there was no separation between me and the image on the screen. It was like I was there, and it was crystal clear. And it was more clear than any TV image could ever be.
Did we make a connection between that and the first? Right? Focused, right there. Right? You have it again coming up here, only it's stronger here, it appears, does it not?
Color.
Color.
In living color.
Living color.
In living color.
Like no blotches, full size, smooth.
Right, that's right. Perfect potato,
Perfect potato.
in that sense.
In that sense.
Yeah.
that it was
Right,
living color, three-dimensional.
yeah. And you seem to enjoy it now that you're recalling it. Was that in the dream as well?
Yeah, because when I take the dream, I remember saying, kind of also another awe at how clear it was, how perfectly clear. Like
Right.
beautifully clear.
Yeah.
And the color, I remember there was like, it wasn't in black and white, it was in full color, bright, brilliant colors.
Yeah. Awe comes back again, doesn't it? Did we get awe back again?
Yeah, from first
Right? So she enjoys her seeing. She enjoys when it's clear, when it's crystal clear. She can identify with it. This is all on seeing, isn't it? The importance of seeing. But what's the issue? Incorporating. Now, I don't know what that word means in your dream. Can you talk about it?
Yeah.
Which one?
Is that what companies do?
Which word?
Incorporate? What is it again?
Incorporate.
Incorporate. I don't know the word. So from you, what does it mean? See, I don't want
It
to...
means doing something with what I see. It means
Doing
turning-
something with what I see.
And in this case, turning.
Turning?
What I see on myself.
Turning what I see on myself.
But turning my seeing to myself.
Turning my seeing to myself. That's what you mean by this word, incorporate. Right? Turning your seeing on yourself. That's what it means, right? And somehow, you use that word,
Somehow.
assimilate it somehow. Right, right. right.
Especially if it's obvious to everyone but you, and it's right in front of you.
That's extremely important. That's very helpful, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very helpful, right? Because
She says it was obvious to everyone but her.
mm-hmm,
And it was right in front of you.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, it was just everyone could see it, and it brought my attention to it even more so, and that I saw that I needed to do something.
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting state of mind, isn't it? You're in it now, or you're recalling it now, are you not?
Uh-huh.
What's the history of that state of mind? Could you give me an example of it from your own past?
See if I gotta do something.
Yeah, just, it's a curious state of mind, that's right. Is it not? It's obvious to all but you. Right. It's clear to everybody. Right. Go ahead.
I remember being small and people laughing at me because I wasn't getting something. I don't know if that fits.
That's all right, just keep talking. Go ahead. Not getting something, go ahead. Right.
I don't know what it was I was doing,
Uh-huh.
but my mother was there. I think my aunts might have been there when I was younger too, in this scene. And they were laughing because I was doing something and I didn't, there was this, like a child would do something that adults will think is funny, but the child is really trying to accomplish something. They'll laugh and think, oh, how funny, cute. I had that sense about that scene and feeling like, like I really wanted to try and get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, more?
My feelings were hurt,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted to try to get it.
Yeah, you wanted to try to get it, was what?
I don't know what it did.
Well, there are two things there. I have to be careful. Which one is it? Trying to get what they're laughing at or trying to do what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I was trying to do what I was trying to do, but I think it changed because they were laughing. It was kind of an indication that I was doing something wrong. I took it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't doing something right.
Mm-hmm. laughing.
And I wanted to do it the right way,
Mm-hmm.
not the way that would get me laughed at.
But not to, what? Say that part again? Just say it again.
Not the way that would get me laughed at.
You want to do it the right way, but not the way it would get you to be laughed at, right?
But not the way.
Not the way.
That's a new goal, isn't it? That's a new goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you make of that new goal?
Well, I'm doing it differently than the way I saw how I wanted to go about it.
Then you changed your goal from what you're saying, right? But not to do it the way to get laughed at. There's another element brought in.
Like they were seeing something that I wasn't seeing,
Yeah.
and I wanted to see it and do it in the right way.
Yeah.
They were seeing something about me and the way I was doing it.
Yeah. That's true. Go ahead. All right. They were seeing something about you. Huh? Now, why would the dream be picking up this scene? There's something interesting about it. What are you now doing like at this moment? I want to do it the right way, but not to do it the way to get laughed at.
I'm changing the way I was doing it. I changed my approach.
Right. Then this is change, then, isn't it? Change your goal.
Change my focus.
Yeah, change your focus. Good word. I don't know why. Did you use it before? That's right. Change your focus.
It's like
Did you? Yeah.
the potatoes.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Did you ever find out what they were laughing at? Did they ever help you?
I can't remember.
What do you make of the fact that they didn't help you? Your mother's there, right? Now you're going to try to do something. Does it assume that you know what they're laughing at?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're going to try to find a way to avoid being laughed at, but you don't know what they're laughing at.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now you have a rather interesting problem then, don't you?
Right, I don't.
What are you going to do with it?
I don't see what they're laughing at to fix. So what am I going to do?
So long as you're holding on to this as a solution,
Change it.
could you get the goal? Could you achieve it?
No, I'm missing something.
Yeah, what's the thing you're missing?
What they're laughing at.
Yeah, yeah. Say, in this dream, any help? Any help? They're trying to help you?
I'm sorry, which one are you in?
And the fourth one, are they going to try to help you see what's obvious? Any help for it?
No, just a statement.
So you don't ask. Do you ask here? What do you do then? What did you do then?
I think that I knew.
thought you knew. Because this is thinking you know. This is your solution, isn't it? You think you know what to do. But what did you find out about it? Is it possible or impossible, given the ground? Ah, so what must you do here?
Find out what's so fun.
What are you doing in the dream?
What do you see as the problem?
That's right. You're not
Asking the question.
about.
What others see.
Yeah. Okay, one more step. Say, you know this life-threatening thing? Your life is at stake. Right? That's an interesting state of mind, isn't it? Isn't it? Experienced it recently? That state of mind?
Yeah.
Do you care to talk about it or not? It's up to you.
How's the talk?
Hmm?
How's the talk?
Go ahead.
Well, the day before this dream, I don't know if it was life-threatening. I had talked about feeling like I was going to run.
Mm-hmm.
And not going ahead, not moving.
Uh-huh. And go ahead. As you can tell with my art, I went to the same school Leonardo went with.
That's some rough.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, play it.
And
what would you have had to have done to have made that particular situation, which I'm not probing for, by the way, to be more successful, to be successful?
make this
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah. Interesting. Finish it now. For had you talked about it,
Doing something about it.
right. So look here. What can we say about the Dream Master who put this together? Does it take a particularly important theme and play it with each one of these as a particular way of expressing one theme, turning it around, showing various ways in which it can manifest itself? So therefore the Dream Master must have an idea, looks at your present, knows your past, selects these material with great care, gives it to you in the present, so that then you can understand your present and prepare for your future meaningfully, for your benefit. Well, this dream cycle has one theme. It shows itself up in many particular dreams. That one is a model. These copies, 1, 2, 3, 4, are variations. There is a model, or one idea, the Dream Master must have, which functions as a cause. The copies are variations, and it shows likeness to its source, the basic idea behind it all, which apparently is that sense of your life is at stake, you must deal with it, and you're not able to. Right? Look here. That means that all the effects, the dreams, pre-exist potentially in the activity of the cause. It's all there. The Dream Master's got it. And it's by means of the cause's power that it's able then to take a look at time in three different ways. You see, the future is germinal, that's only possible. It doesn't exist, it's only possible. The present must include at once what was in the future and is now present, but it has nothing to do with the past. Therefore, we're blocked. I mean, with the future. What? Includes what was once not, excuse me? Doesn't include, yeah, that's right. Doesn't include the past yet. I'm right. Okay. I can be right once in a while. Fine. So it contains the future insofar as it manifests what was present in the moment. The Dream Master, therefore, includes all and can comprehend all three at once in a visionary view. It can play out its copies in all of these varieties because it has it in such splendid form, because it can draw from your past the most interesting details. If we had time, we could go through every one of the images, and it would be just as meaningful as the whole. The syringe, the potatoes, right? We could go through every one of them. Hello. What are these cycles? The cycles, these dreams, can equally be said to be giving us problems to try to solve. All right. Now, a cycle has existence in the process of coming to be. The dream has an existence, the process of coming to be. And that which moves it has power and intelligence, doesn't it? To be able to pull this off in a way, creatively. Its function is to provide the means by which entity is transformed from place to place or from person to person. That is to say, look, the function of the dream is to provide the means by which, if you can then wake up to the possibility of talking about these things that are important to you, and therefore your providence is no longer blocked, that will make an available kind of energy for you to function with intelligently and meaningfully. And that transformation is to our benefit. Right? Now look here. This is where we are going next week. We're going to look at two transmission analogies. Formally, how we are taught, and how we are also, and how we pick up beliefs. We're going to play with this. Let me just hit it for you for a moment. See, let's make the analogy. As a teacher is to you, so now, once you've learned it, you too can be to your universe. And you can then relate to it. You can also be a teacher yourself and teach others. So therefore, as master is to student, so the student in learning, in turn, either applies it, either to the universe or to others, and therefore it is A is to B, as B is to C, a mean analogy. Right? In that formal teaching, it's goal-related. It's a strategy, goal-related. Communicates, instructs, it's public. Teacher guides, questions, tests are appropriate. The teacher, therefore, should be able to demonstrate what he sees or she sees, right? And therefore, there must be an application of it. On the other hand, there's another class of learning that takes place, and they are sometimes beliefs that are communicated that are irreconcilable with the highest goals. These kinds of scenes, the authority persuades, demands, coerces, appears knowing, sincere, wise, and caring, and even love, may even appear beautiful. But insofar as it is not guide, questioned, tested, demonstrated, and applied, it lives on as a belief When these beliefs are irreconcilable with one's goals, it is in fact a kind of strategy that is not goal-related, but failure-driven. The play of these two is what it is to be in the human domain. And let me do that one next time. That goes too much. Okay, thank you. Any questions? Have a cup of tea? We'll come back and ask questions. What do you say? I'm a little dry. I'll get my tea and we'll come back and open to questions.
Okay, so
I said other things over there.
what is the Dream Master's relationship to the future? What's it saying about our future? What's it saying about us?
Well, what did you do with the last answer before I offer another one? First one might work, depending upon what he does with it. Since that's the only one I have.
I didn't get it.
Well, in this case, would you agree that the Dream Master is giving her something, and it will only be, using the terms you suggested a moment ago, it will only be providential if what? Under what circumstances?
The I word.
That she reflects on it,
That's right.
sees
Right,
it,
right.
studies it.
Okay, watch the next 3 steps. Dangerous, all right? Number 1. Say then, if you reflect on these dreams and link them one to the other, then would you agree you then see there's a pattern that goes through them? You say that pattern is developmental, as a direction, intelligible, meaningful. By the way, when you go through this, does this help you understand how the dream was constructed? By understanding it, do you also understand its construction? Do you also see how it might be applied analogically to your present? Second question, right? Say, is it likely then that in understanding the dream, you have to learn how the Dream Master constructs the dream?
Absolutely.
Third, does that mean you're learning how to think as the Dream Master thinks? And constructs and weaves whatever it is he weaves?
That's involves growth.
Then our way of growing is to become like the Dream Master.
Dream mastership.
That's right.
But what's so interesting about
But
the
a dream, it is like a tapestry, and it takes those things like they are developed, and for life being at stake, and
Yes.
the dream, it does develop, and
Mhm.
it just weaves all that.
Mhm.
It's just really,
It does, doesn't it?
yeah, really weaves
Right.
that idea.
Right, right. So, how did we do it? First, you just get the data, let the person reflect on the data, right? And by that, they'll often add things to it just by reflecting on them. Then you go to states of mind, do you not? Right, and let them then add to it, as she did. You look for key words that are curious, let the person amplify them. We got puny, remember, and how important that was, undeveloped. Remember how that worked out? Right. Then we got the states of mind and added to it. That added a certain kind of stability to it and gave it a certain kind of vitality too. And when we did that, then we looked for connections between each dream, did we not? Let's take a look at the relationships between 1 and 4, 2 and 4, 2 and 3, did we not? Right. Did that help see the way it could be linked? Did we then choose what appeared to be the one where most of the difficulties, or where we could see it most clearly? Here's another one. Do you think you could go back and do everything in terms of the potato?
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
It's already contained.
In the potato.
And this
So even if you forgot the other 3 and only had this one,
Like the other 3 or the
with enough time, caution, you might be able to get the whole drama.
right out of the sweet potato.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please. Louder, please. Louder? I missed that.
Oh, she described that dream, she described it as gathering and harvesting potatoes. So it's very
Mhm.
gathering.
From what you were saying before about the dream, we were looking at the dream to see how the Dream Master constructs the dream. We're seeing seeing how the Dream Master thinks.
Yeah, yeah,
And connecting that with the idea that the Dream Master is seeing what we don't see.
yeah.
In other words, right now.
Yes, right at this moment.
And so by doing this, we are actually bringing ourselves to consciousness.
That's right.
And moving towards the
Most
dream
perfect way.
master.
Louder, please.
Moving towards the dream master, seeing in a way the dream master does. You're moving, in doing this, you're moving towards.
It's really
So-
moving towards being rational in the present.
That's right.
Yes, being aware.
And a model for rationality, the Dream Master. So have we done it? Did we seek part to whole? Do we then look for the order? If we found a repeating order, then we look for the pattern. We saw the pattern. It's either static or dynamic. It's dynamic, growth, development, right? And then if there is a dynamic pattern, then there's a theme. Did we follow the themes through it all? Good, good. If there are themes, are they unified? Do they come together into a unity? If so, then we could say the whole is intelligible. And if so, then we know it's meaningful. Then we seek then how it's going to be to our benefit. Therefore, what I'm doing and what I'm showing you is the art of dream analysis is truly an art, since it's a way of approaching something that brings the benefit entirely for the subject and has that as its only goal.
What is this, when you say, what if the pattern is static? I mean, it isn't in this dream. But
No. Well, there might be just like this is an order,
yes, but it's
right?
static.
It's repeating order, but it's static.
It doesn't develop.
Doesn't develop. Yeah.
And that does occur.
No. I've never, in all my years doing dreams,
So they
ever.
always are dynamic.
They're always dynamic.
See, because I'm looking to see
Yeah.
why you're asking this question, Danny. Is
Yeah.
it static or dynamic?
Well, just logical.
Oh, okay.
Just logical categories. It's either, someone might ask, well, how do you
I
know?
mean, then could you say that if there's a pattern, then look for its dynamic?
Sure.
And, I mean, that
Oh,
would
yeah.
be enough
Yeah,
ultimately to
yeah,
say
yeah, yeah. This is just logical. I would now take that out and say,
Okay.
if pattern, then it's going to be dynamic. And if it is dynamic, then there's going to be a theme. That's true. That's true. Good.
Kind of an irony. The dream master is more awake to our waking world, and that we're asleep to. And by reflecting, like we're doing on these dreams, then we can then be more awake in our waking world as the dream master is.
And go ahead to the other side. And when you are asleep, it is
Awake.
awake, bringing together your past and your present in order to bring about a certain kind of meaningful development for you that can benefit solely you. Right. And then you ponder it when you're awake in the morning. Say, what does this mean? This can't possibly mean anything. Maybe it does. Wait a minute.
It always does.
Always does.
But it's,
Always does.
to add to what she said, that it's not only letting us be awake in our waking world, but it's also awakening us to its own essence as well, the Dream Master's essence.
I didn't, last part?
The Dream Master's, it's also allowing us to become awake to him, or the Dream Master, him.
See, once you begin to see this again and again, then your dreams take on a more rational character. It'll help you.
Theoretically, they have a cycle of cycles.
What?
Theoretically, you could have a cycle of cycles.
Oh, sure.
You could keep your dreams over the
Oh,
years.
absolutely. There's a whole way of approaching cycles. Yes, that's true. There are two kinds of cycles, one transverse cycle and one, yeah, the different kinds of cycles, and you can talk about them. And you can apply cycle theory to dreams, yes.
You're looking at this dream like in one given cycle. In your experience, what's the limit of the number of dreams
In a cycle?
typically? Or
That-
is there
one of the
could be
functions
20 or
of, yeah.
30, or is it 4,
Yeah,
5,
yeah,
7?
yeah. In the study of cycles, in any area that you study it in, there's, you can have what's, whether you're looking at the cycle of gold prices or corn or dreams, any particular dream has an up and a down, right? So that's one dream. Now, you can take a whole series of them All right, and then you can ask,
This is your repeating.
what you find is that within this, there's going to be one that's going to be radically different, and you can find it, same theme, reappear later, and you can take that to be the boundary of the cycles. And it works.
Cycle of cycles.
Then you can have sub-cycles within it, but that's easily distinguished and you can discriminate it. See, one of the interesting things about cycle theory, by the way, is that whenever you have a cycle of anything, that along the same space and time, if another appears, then you have a vector sum. Therefore, this rises as of the sum of the vectors. If you have two vectors, pardon me, if you have two waves that are going in opposite direction, when one is progressive, the other is regressive, then what you have then is that the one cancels out the other. And you know what that means? That's what happens in our daily lives. When you have a problem, the problem cancels out your success and wipes out your everything that you've done, or a good part of what you've done. And that's because one cycle is regressive, going backwards, failure belief or belief failures, and the other one is goal-related strategies. And therefore, when you're after some goal that's significant to you and you don't realize you have a belief that's irreconcilable with your goals, it's going in the other direction. When they superimpose, then you have that classic thing called the wipeout of the two graphs, or the power of the two graphs. And amnesia sets in, you forget what happened. But that, we'll go in, perhaps we'll go into that next time, okay? Yeah. And a guy by the name of Martin Armstrong is famous for working through dreams, wave theory. And he's at the Princeton Institute of Economic Development. He worked out a whole theory of whole theory of cycles, study of cycles. Okay. Thank you.